Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of What If Civilization Started Over? There is going to be quite a lot happening in this episode, so I advise you stay. The first event happening is, unfortunately, for the Kuwait lovers, Kuwait is going to be breaking out into a civil war. Recently, there has been a disagreement among the oligarchs of Kuwait, and some of them are going to go ahead and rebel their independence. When I mean a few of them rebel, all of them rebel. And Kuwait not do anything about this. These oligarchs, they're rich. They have a ton of money. They're very liked amongst these nations. So yeah, they can't really invade them. So they're just gonna have to give in. And yeah, these oligarchs, they are going to explore some of the sea, and they're gonna go into a period of building. So yeah, basically, this is their own what if civilization started over here. They have no help from the outside powers. They're just left with a ton of money and a ton of rich people and a few boats. So yeah, with that country out the way, let's go to our next event in this video, which is rapid expansion around the world. Very interesting. Now, after many years, this is what the world will look like. Yeah, there's a lot of expansion that's happened. A lot of new towns and cities have been formed, and a few new countries as well down here, which are under the influence of Egypt and Syria. And yeah, Egypt is. Oh, what's gone on here? Egypt is extremely large, and they're getting extremely powerful. Syria was the stronger one, but now it is Egypt, and Egypt is that if they wanted to, they could go on a massive expansion arc, take out all three, four of these countries, maybe even give, a few other powers a run for their money. But yeah, so oh my god, I didn't add cities to Ukraine. Done. Okay. So the next event happening is a very major event for this world, something that might decide the future of this world. We have to go down here to the Netherlands. They were once a powerful empire, controlling half of the known world, and now they are just a shell of their former self. And the red team, they want a certain holy land. The red team is on a quest to redeem every single holy land of the red religion that they created. So they will be declaring war on the Netherlands, and they will be moving their troops in. And despite fierce resistance, the Netherlands is not winning. Their only city has been captured, and now the capital is being sieged. Looks like the red religion is truly the dominant religion, but then something happens. This marks the beginning of the First Crusade. The coalition is ready, and the troops are already on the border. And yeah, the first country to march into Red Team land will be the French. Because yeah, the French and the Netherlands, you may think they'd be mortal enemies, and they were, but they get on okay now. And yeah, France is coming to the saviour of the Netherlands by sending troops into the Red Team, and they do quite well. And they will send a division into the Netherlands to liberate the capital city. Well, not the capital city, I mean, free them from the siege, which will work. And the Red Team's like, how the hell did we just get a coalition after trying to invade one country? As we can see, these are all of like the troop rankings and stuff. These are probably outdated now. I'd say that the Red Team's troops have gone up. Poland's troops have probably gone down a bit. France's troops have probably skyrocketed. Italy's troops are probably fine. Adriatica's troops have probably gone up a bit. Turkey's troops maybe have gone down. Ukraine probably up. Bulgaria down a lot. Greece up a lot. Cornwall down. Yeah, that's probably the So it's still something like this, but just note France has a lot more troops, and this coalition combined probably has more troops than the Red Team, and they will be using these troops to advantage because a massive offensive full of Iberians, and the Iberians, they are fierce warriors. They have seen war. Most of them, they lived in the period of the Great Iberian Wars. So yeah, they're familiar with war, and they're very good generals. They will be pushing into the Red Team. And the red team will be moving troops down south to stop this. And they will stop this. They, encircle a ton of troops and push them back to this river. But the damage is already done. And the war, the crusade, yeah, it's going quite well. The Dutch will be fully liberated, and they'll even start a small counter-offensive into the red team, taking a bit of land and trying to go over to the capital city. And this is very interesting here because, just to note, yeah, we are still in, we're a bit past ancient times, but they're going towards the capital city, and they're going to like try and lay a siege. They're going to take the two towns around it, but there's a few red team divisions, and they're going to come marching through. But these guys are luckily able to escape because they found some boats. And they're going to get pushed back to this river. So yeah, this is a very interesting war. But the red team has allies of its own. Oh my god. No, 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 no. Bang. They're gonna they're gonna bring Poland and Adriatica into the war. And like I said, Poland is a very strong nation, and Adriatica is also extremely powerful. And the first fighting on this front will be between Adriatica and Monaco. And Adriatica definitely has the advantage. They're a lot more powerful than Monaco. But Monaco has been recently rising, but they're not stronger than Adriatica. And everyone knows this. Monaco is going to get pushed out of Italy, and they're just going to be in their, original area for a bit. But they do have naval dominance over here, but Sicily might have something to say about that. Over on this front line, with France seeing this, they're going to send out a call to arms to any religion who has been harmed by the red team. And some countries are going to come. Bruce joins the war, and Greece joins the war. It has been quite a while since Greece has fought a war, not against themselves, but against Adriatica. But the Greeks are now ready for another rematch, and this time they want blood. They won't be sparing anyone, and they will be moving into Adriatica. And yet, Adriatica was not expecting their old rival to invade them, so Greece might have a bit of success early on. But then, something even worse happens. The Square Alliance. Religion are they? Greek religion and Grey religion will join the war to, overthrow Poland. Because Poland, let's just say, that these areas, which are the Grey religion areas, they're being very, very racist. And, these guys want to stop that. So, just like that, the Square Alliance has joined the war. And this isn't good for the cross team. The cross team is still extremely strong. And we will see this over here. Because Belarus, that Poland was trying to invade them anyway, so yeah, they get invaded very fast. And their defences are torn down, and their capital is taken. But Belarus will not surrender because they still have hope that Ukraine will lock in, and Ukraine has certainly locked in. They're going to plan a massive offensive with Belarus. And yeah, as you can see, this happened, and this happened. All these Polish troops have just been encircled, and they're going to go ahead and not even fight, they're going to surrender. And this kind of causes a bit of a chain reaction. Capital is going to be liberated, and they're going to get pushed out of most of the country. But Ukraine's advances have just begun, and yeah. But down here, the same cannot be said. Romania is quite divided, and they're not very strong. This one is definitely the strongest, and Moldova is also quite strong. But these guys are going to fall, and the troops from the other nations are going to save them. But over here, this country, they have a long-term beef brewing with Adriatica. They kind of liked Greece in a way. But yeah, they're going to be invading into Adriatica, bumping up against this river. And again, Adriatica is being jumped. This will cause Monaco to have a good pushback. Monaco is strong. They are a strong country. They're not weak at all. They're sort of Sicily's rival, but Sicily is definitely stronger than them. But yeah, Adriatica is going to get pushed back, and Monaco is able to liberate all of their lands and even advance into Adriatica, which Adriatica did not think Monaco would do. And they split Adriatica into two. But the Greeks have been stalled down south as Adriatican troops have finally got there, and they are ready to blast Greece, so that's exactly what they will do. But again, Greece, they are still strong. So they will be putting a ton more troops on the front line. Conscription goes through the roof. And yeah, they begin to push back. And now over to the Polish front. We can see that Ukraine is having quite a lot of success. They've taken another city and they're, pressuring the Polish troops down south. Okay, So, like I said, over here, there's been a few advances. I mean, this happened, but at the cost of this happening. The red team, this is a very interesting war because the cross team is basically Central Europe versus the other bit of Europe, but another empire is going to be joining the war. And this empire, commanded by Norway, is going to be the Holy Swedish Empire. They're going to be declaring war on the entire, well, not the entire religion, but the coalition, or no, the cross team. And just like that, Norway has joined the war, and with them, the entire Holy Swedish Empire, along with Finland, will as well, and Petersburg. And so will the Vikings, who are still the Vikings, but they're just kind of a puppet state. Troops will be landing. I'm just going to colour it the Viking colour. Scratch that, I'm going to colour it Norway. Because it is Norway doing a lot of the hard lifting. But Norway will be landing troops in Denmark and they will be pushing down. And the red team, again, they're being jumped and they were not expecting this. But when the red team troops get there, they're definitely stronger than this. So this gets pushed back. But troops from all these nations are coming. But yes, there's quite a lot of these nations. I don't know how many there are. But each nation is required to give like 10,000 troops. And the more populated ones like this one, probably like 20,000. And Norway, probably about 50. Same with Finland. So yeah, a ton of troops are being donated. And now it's time for the Belarus front, where Belarus is throwing tons of children at the front lines. And this is very effective as Poland is being pushed back, especially up in the north. And another country is going to be entering the war, but not on the side of the Octagon Alliance or the Green and Grey religion and Greece religion. It will be Estonia, and they will be taking their old lands back. They want them. It's been time. They've been able to rebuild in the time that they've collapsed. Their collapse was extremely sad, and like I said, there was a foreign power doing something to Estonia, and they've already found out that it was Poland. Poland never liked Estonia. They were kind of rivals until Estonia collapsed. So yeah, but yeah, the invasion doesn't really go well. Estonia kind of gets pushed back to this town and they get kicked out. But that is another country in the war and another front for Poland to worry about. But what is happening to Adriatica down south? The Greeks have broken through the defensive line and have now begun another invasion of Adriatica. And this is not good because Adriatica is let's just say that front line was it had a lot of troops. And ever since the Greeks broke through, it kind of sucks. But Monaco will be making advances here. And Adriatica has got a lot to handle. But unfortunately, there will be, god damn, a rebellion. Just like that, a rebellion has started in Adriatica. And it quickly gains quite a lot of popularity. Because people, they don't want their, Adriatican brothers to die on the front lines. They've had enough. And just like that, they'll be seizing the Adriatican capital and they'll be forcing their nation to leave the war. And the red team is very confused. Adriatica just fell extremely quickly. They got jumped by all of their neighbours except Bulgaria. But after some time, I'm not making them this colour. But yeah, that happens. But Adriatica, they've left the war. So there will be some occupation zones drawn up. These are all of the occupation zones right now in Adriatica, and you can see the original Adriatican government is still hiding out over here because, red team troops are kind of carrying them. But Adriatica has just fell very fast, and this shows the true power of the people. And yeah, that was really the people who did that, and foreign intervention, but yeah. Now, Eastern Romania, Northeast Romania, or no, Northwest Romania, they'll be making the decision to invade into Poland, and this goes extremely well until it doesn't and they get stalemated. But their buddy in North Romania has finally been liberated as Polish troops are finding it a bit hard to fight one of these front lines. So yeah, but they will be pushing back against Ukraine, and that's a good thing because Poland. And they're going to be pushing back Belarus as well. And the Belarus's troops, they're going to have to flee into Ukraine, but they're not going to flee into Ukraine. They're going to join the Ukrainian military. And yeah, this was all for nothing because Ukraine has just connected them up. Now over to the red team. There's been a lot of casualties over here. The people are not happy, but the bodies lay on the town streets and cities. And one day, a few people they get ill. Very ill. And the doctors of this timeline have never seen anything like it. And yeah, just like that, the plague has begun mid-war. This plague is a bit better than the real life version, but it's still extremely bad, and France will take advantage of the miscommunication, and they'll push into the red team, taking a ton of land, and the red team looks to be on verge, well, they look to nearly be collapsing. But a few days later, the same thing happens in Poland, and Ukraine, and Adriatica, and Greece. The world has just been infected by a plague that will be very annoying and costly for the next few years. But the red team and everyone else in the world, they do not think much of this. So they'll continue fighting. But the effects have certainly been felt, and people are now dying in the masses, especially in the red team. This is why they're losing on all at their fronts. But still, the red team, number one military power. You think they're going to, let themselves die? Hell no. They're going to be blitzing the front lines. This is sort of their last ditch effort. But yes, it worked. And they're able to lay siege to the Holy Land, well, a Holy Land, once more, and even push into France. And France did not see this one coming. This was a trick that the red team had up their sleeve. But down here, they begin heavily losing. Not down here, up there, they begin losing. They lose this major military navy base. And the red team's navy will go ahead and defect over to multiple different places, like Stockholm, Estonia, Finland, Norway, Cornwall, Scotland, Ireland. All of these places, and this southern Sweden down here. So yeah, the red team is going to collapse, just like that. And yeah, oh, this is too similar, but yeah, there's a ton of rebellions everywhere, and the red team, again, like Adriatica, will be leaving the war, but for a different reason. Tons of people are dead. The red team's military is absolutely shredded up, but they never surrendered like Adriatica. The troops, some of them are still fighting. They kind of just left the coalition, and it doesn't make sense at all. But red team troops, some of them are still fighting, and some of them, like over here, they've set up their own sort of place that they're chilling at. This is now like kind of functioning as a country, and it will become a country somehow. It's part of northern France, has just shown what the red team military is doing. Different groups are going off into different countries to create, different countries. And this marks the beginning of, the entire world being really Swedish empire-ified. Just kidding, but you might see quite a lot of this soon. And now it's time for the biggest and bloodiest battle of the war. The red team has actually been doing quite well kicking out these rebellions. But, just like this, the capital is under siege, and it's now time for the bloodiest battle of this war. Troops from all over both coalitions, they're going to show up here, and the red team will lose, marking the end of the country, and it will surrender over to the French. Oh my gosh. And now Poland is left alone to fight most of Europe. And just like that, French troops are going to be pushing into Poland. And this spells the end. They have no hope left. They have no morale left. And the troops, like the red team's troops, They're defecting into different places to create their own nations. Poland is going to fall, and the Polish king, he knows it, but he doesn't want to give up his power. So just like that, Poland is going to be going into complete conscription. Anyone under the age, anyone over the age of 14 has to fight. And conscription isn't a good thing, especially if you're trying to conscript 14-year-olds. And just like that, again, just like that, just like that, wow. Another rebellion starts. And this rebellion is a lot stronger than the red team one. It's like even to the Adriatic one. And Poland is going to be taken by storm. And the capital is going to be overrun and plundered along with the rest of the coastline. And Poland is going to be completely destroyed here. And they will surrender over to the coalition. And just like that, the First Crusade has been won by the green, grey, beige, and Greek religion. So let's have a look at the peace treaty for the First Crusade. And as we can see, there has just been, this peace treaty has taken absolutely ages. Very, very crazy. Adriatica has been, they've lost a lot of land. Poland has lost a lot of land, and the red team has lost a lot of land. The rest of these areas have been split up into their own sort of Holy Roman Empires, but they are right now under the crown of the Holy Swedish Empire. And the Octagon Alliance will actually, they'll stay because they felt like it. And the Octagon Alliance is actually going to gain a new member, and that member is actually Monaco. Because Monaco, they've just gained land from Adriatica, and they're scared that Sicily might eat them. But Sicily did actually gain some land from Adriatica as well. Adriatica, they collapsed at that point. So yeah. And over to Ukraine, they got a very large puppet state. Belarus is now unrecognizable. Estonia was able to get some of their OG lands back. And yeah, the rest of the losing team has been divided up quite a lot. And the Dutch are right outside the red team capital, so if they try anything again, they'd get cooked. And the Vikings, they've gained a strip of land here, and these countries now exist. So yeah, very, very interesting peace treaty. And the plague has begun, but this is where